on, and we got a new guest, Chris Wissing. I think we're going to toss around this idea also of maybe bringing on a new or different school member on every week to join Joe and Lauren. But Chris, welcome here. And Lauren has some big news. Her YouTube channel is finally out. She got her first video up there, and she started off with a legend already on as her first guest, right, Lauren? How was that?
It was awesome. Yeah, so nice of Zuber to do. And it was great. And I'm in the middle of my 1031, and so we talked a little bit about what he's doing right now and what he's buying. And my 1031 is the property that I had identified. The inspection came back and it was not good. So I was kind of bummed about that. And then we were talking about like current market and where the opportunities are today. And it kind of reinvigorated me. I was like, okay, yeah, this is not a bad thing if I have to pay the taxes, and gives me the chance to find another opportunity that, of which there are many coming up in that like commercial apartment space.
Cool. And before I'll put Lauren's channel in the chat, and before we dig into that a little bit more, I know Chris also has started his own YouTube channel. Chris was in Vegas year 1 and year 3, and his teenager attended this year's event, right? So Chris, maybe give some of the people that may not have got a chance to talk to you in Vegas, like who you are. And I do see Cody Davis in the chat, so morning you can talk about a little bit about your son's thoughts on the event also.
Yeah, so I'm here in Northern California, and where I invest, live, work, everything. The event was actually really cool, and truthfully, I wasn't going to go, and I told a few people this. I just been in the first 2 years and wasn't going to go this third year. And then when Zuber offered to put out for the teens to come in, was talking with Logan, and he's like, Dad, I'm kind of interested in this. I'd kind of like to learn more. So I made the choice and got us there. Watching him interact and seeing him get the courage to start engaging more. I've been working with him since he was just a little guy, working rooms and talking to people and whatnot. To see that really come around was just amazing as being a parent. And when I'd step away or I'd talk to somebody, I'd look around and he'd be off and engaging with so many different people. And I just stop and just really, really kind of admired the whole situation. So that really made it all worth it. Watching him, asking questions, talking to people, socializing, sharing what he knew, and just learning. And when you watch kids learning, you see him like a sponge, and he was just soaking it all in. And some of the things that he was asking, and like when we'd go to the container park, we were sitting there talking, and it would just be him and I, and the amount of questions and the amount of information that he was craving was just blowing my mind. It was exhausting, but I absolutely enjoyed it. And so there was some stuff where it was like we didn't get a chance to talk to other people the way we wanted to, because he had so many questions. He knew he could get information from me, and that really started him off with other people as we were moving around. So it was a really good experience for both of us. And he's still just kind of riding the high on it. And he went, talked to Pace, and Pace took a few moments and actually spoke with him. And he wanted to come up with some sort of question for Pace, and he couldn't quite figure out what he wanted. So he heard him, giving contacts for different zip codes. And he was really impressed by that, by his network. And I said, but you need to go to him and just tell him, I'm 15. What advice would you give me? And so that was his question. And Pace kind of stepped back and just almost grabbed him under his wing and just said, here it is. So he's really hooked on it now. So we'll see what happens.
There's so much opportunity too when somebody goes to an event like this, because he is a teenager, people are so willing to give him information and take the time with him. So he's probably getting the most out of it for multiple reasons, because people are like, oh, here's somebody who has their whole life ahead of them and so much potential, and wants to learn. And that's such a unique thing at that age that I think people are super excited to share and get to know him.
Yeah, you could really see the looks on people's faces when they started talking to him, and it didn't take long because he actually had engaging questions and information, and people really gravitated to it. I walked down the stairs at that event, and he had like 2, 3 people standing there talking with him, and I went, "Well, my job's done. I might as well go find something else to do because he's got this handled." So
Yeah.
it was awesome.
So cool.
Like I said, there is Joel, Lauren, and Chris's YouTube channels in the chat. I believe all of them should be streaming also. So go jump over there,
Yeah, go to my channel.
subscribe. Yes, people are complaining about the portrait mode also streaming at the same time. But I'll tell you what, the portrait mode gets the viewerships way up. So that's the only reason I do it. I do know that it's kind of a pain, but on your mobile device, it looks much better. But let's see. I see Yasik is here. It says, Chris, it was a pleasure meeting you and your son in Vegas. Definitely special young man you raised. Yes. But yeah, let's also, like I said, all of you have a channel. We all have channels. We're all trying to grow it. But Lauren, like I said, we've been pushing you for how long to get it
How long have
started.
you been doing these lives, Mark? Because I think it's been since then, like a couple years.
But I think you and Zuber also touched on it, right? He said
Mhm.
you've done a lot of live streams, but recordings a little bit different. So what was the challenge of actually doing more like a recording style than a live stream?
Well, yeah, a little behind the scenes, which you guys don't know, is we actually tried to do it one day, and then I was using Restream, and for whatever reason, it just kept ending the stream. Like it would just like shut off, and then I would like restart it, and it was just like it was getting all like choppy, and he finally I was like, I'm gonna have to like piece this together, and we were both just like, okay, let's try again tomorrow. So there were some technical difficulties for sure, and that's why I shy away from doing like YouTube and stuff, because I hate dealing with that kind of stuff. And I have no idea why it was happening. Like I'm not going to be the one to figure it out. So then we ended up recording on his. So yeah, I could imagine if it were somebody who was like less gracious, would have been like, oh yeah, sorry, it's just not working out. So yeah, it was a bumpy first video for sure.
So you didn't end up recording on yours. You recorded on his.
Yeah,
and then you did the add your channel.
No, it wasn't a live. It was recording. So then he sent me the recording. Mm-hmm.
Oh, but he put it on. Zoom? But he put it on her channel. I mean, Lauren used it for her channel.
Yeah, he sent it to me for the link to my channel. We had done he had interviewed me, and then he put that on his channel, and then the one where I'm interviewing him, he sent to me.
Mark, what do you use to record in interviews? Do you use Zoom or Restream, or what do you do?
I pretty much just use Restream already. If it's if it's going to be an actual recording, I may use Zoom, but Restream seems, I mean, it works well for me, and there's a lot.
I've never done a recording on Restream. I didn't know you could do it.
No, okay. You can do a regular recording also. And then you can have all these controls of adding all these, like, on the bottom right now it says just hit record and things like that. So you can change that whenever the topic changes. You can throw in people's QR codes. So like it sounds like someone liked and subscribed. I'm not sure which channel Harrison tuned into. So like I said, Lauren has her channel streaming. Chris has his channel streaming, and your son, right? Do you think he's gonna be at the next event, Chris? Now, is that the plan, you think?
He's a teenager, so you never know what's gonna happen.
A year from now, who knows where he'll be.
I will say that it's probably a good thing that Zuber changed it from Valentine's weekend and around that we've hit that stage, and
Hmm.
you know, with him where it was it was a little controversial for him. Being
It's
gone
funny
for
though.
Valentine's.
We say that about Lauren too, if she's gonna actually be there next year. As of now, she says yes, but that's 1 year from now, right?
It is
Less
a
than a-
long ways away. No, I'll be there.
less than a year.
Chris, also, like I said, your channel, it's been like we kind of talked about it, and I started mine a few years ago, and we thought you were going to start, and it took a little while, and now seems like you're being a little more consistent with it, also, right?
Yeah. So right now, what I'm doing is just with this ADU project that I'm building, I'm just basically just shooting videos, updates, trying to do weekly updates of what we're doing, the process that I've been going through on it, a couple of the hiccups, a lot of the demolition that we did, and some of the issues, finding faults, whatnot. I've done a few things because I'm also remodeling my house. So a little bit of how to or ideas. So it's just real basic stuff right now, but it's been gaining traction. So we'll see what happens.
Let's see. There was somebody. Yasik says, "What's easier, real estate investing or starting a YouTube channel?" Joe, you go first. Joe, let's go with you first, Joe.
I mean, starting a YouTube channel is easy if you have no expectations. I mean, it could be the worst channel ever. I mean, just putting videos up, it doesn't matter, right? I mean, that's easy. Just throwing videos up. Real estate investing right now is hard. As Lauren can probably attest to, you spend so much time on a deal and then it falls apart and then you're back to the drawing board. I mean, there's just a lot. I'm seeing that in my world a lot of deals just falling apart, especially with the inspections. And I've seen some sellers, be very, very forgiving and flexible on negotiations after inspection, and some not. So I don't know. That's my take on it.
Yeah.
Lauren, what about you? I mean, it took you a while to start, but you got a big name for your first guest, but what's harder? What's easier, I guess? Real estate investing or starting a YouTube channel?
I mean, realistically, YouTube channel, but I really want to say starting a YouTube, or I would say real estate investing is easier, but it's not. I mean, it's so much more risk and capital and leverage and all of that, but YouTube is free. But for me, mentally, the mental block, YouTube for sure.
Okay. Hold on. Is it? It's not the time. I mean, it's putting a video up. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. Is it?
No.
Is it the? What is it? What's the block?
It's more like the consistency of it, like having to constantly be doing it and thinking about it. Like real estate investing, I can see the value in it. Like even if it's not instant gratification, because you like buy a house and it takes time to renovate, like with everything that you're renovating, you're adding value there. And ultimately you're like learning and growing and getting close to your goal. With YouTube, I'm just like, oh, I have to think about this. I'd rather be working on my real estate stuff.
Before I dig into that a little bit, Chris, for you, real estate investing or starting a YouTube channel?
Well, I've been doing the real estate investing thing a little longer than the YouTube thing. Yeah, I think the real estate investing is it's easier, but that's where the passion is. That's the YouTube thing. It's fun. It's just a new learning curve and trying to figure out all the little hiccups. I mean, this Restream thing caught me off guard. Never heard of it. Never dealt with it. So it's just something new to learn. Just like anything else, it takes time. So
I think that's part of it too, right? Real estate is a little more, it's a little bit easier blueprint, and it's a little bit easier to see results or determine your results. Where YouTube, Nick Bitcoin on Saturdays, he was just talking about how I think 90% of people don't get to 100 subscribers, and you're always like why is this person's video have 100,000 views and my video on the same thing has like 10, right? So you're just always wondering what's working and what's not. But I do see Brady Morgan, who does have also a pretty big YouTube channel, talking about his method of reaching financial freedom, but he likes to use OBS for live stream and recording.
What is that?
I don't know. It's just another platform because so even like YouTube, I think it has a link. You can link to OBS to stream on. I mean,
Oh,
not
I
YouTube,
haven't
but
heard of that
Zoom. Yeah, you can use Zoom through OBS to stream from. But Brady also came out with a book. I don't know if I have the link anymore, but
Oh wow.
yeah, it's, shoots. Brady, if you are still here, put the name of your book in the chat. But basically, it's kind of his strategy of using 15-year mortgages, buying a property for 15 years, one property each year for 15 years, put them on 15-year mortgages. So by year 16, the first property basically is paid off. Well, I better not say too much. You got to buy the book, I guess, to know what the strategy is. Yes, Lazy Nick Gurr, you may ask a question if you want, if you're still here, but please subscribe. I'll put out everyone's channel also in the chat. Frank is here, who also probably knows the struggles of starting a YouTube channel. He's starting to find his little niche. I love his kind of van confessions that he's been putting out there about the struggles of the first 5 years in real estate. But he says, I guess it's for you, Lauren. What type of guest subject matter will Lauren be going for?
I mean, all real estate and related. I'm gonna have Emily on, and I definitely want to have like more women on, as many as I can find, because I think that especially if you're like a female watching YouTube channels and you just see like, I love that Emily like does the construction. I'm like, it's great. That's great for male and female. So yeah, I will probably have you guys on. I mean, it's all going to be real
Did
estate
she just
related.
say probably?
Probably. We'll see if there's time in the roster.
Throw a wig on, some lashes.
No, I mean, I
Market a
definitely,
bikini.
yeah, I think it'll start with whoever is willing to share their time, honestly.
I feel like we've been penciled in.
Yeah.
Brady says starting a YouTube is easy, growing it is harder. Still easier than real estate though.
Yeah.
Yasik says, I see a few things as a struggles with YouTube, putting yourself out there. I think that is probably everyone's biggest struggle, is just getting themselves out there and staying consistent with content. First, real estate is more behind the scenes with its own daily struggles.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also why I enjoy the live streams. It's a little more just kind of, we just kind of sometimes just shoot the shit, have fun. Now that I have consistent people coming on, it's a lot easier. And then, like I said, Wednesdays, tossing around the idea of maybe showcasing a new person in school that wants to come on and jump on here and maybe get a little comfortable in front of the camera. And it also gives you content. So anyone that's on, you guys are always free to just take these streams and cut them up yourselves and use them for your own content. But that's up to you. I'm not going to do that for you guys. You guys got to do that yourselves.
But you do kind of do it for us still.
Yes. So just if I ever tag you, the easiest thing is you just share it also, right? Or if I invite you to collaborate on the post, you just share it also. That's a way to put content out for yourself or your page also, right? Go ahead, Joe.
I was just gonna say, in terms of growing a channel and like deciding to put yourself out there and what to talk about or what to dig deeper into. I mean, with what Chris is doing, for example, he's just posting what he's doing, or the ADU, the growing it, the building it. I mean, like Lauren, I mean, it doesn't always have to be for you. It doesn't have to be a thought out thing. Just whatever you're doing in the moment, you can just throw it up there and day in the life of Lauren.
I'm not like thinking about making content very much. Like some people's brains, they're like content creators and they're like, I got to capture this. Like even the other day I was going over, I'm doing a spec house right now, and I was going over the final design plans, and we had gone back and forth, and there were things that are like, to me, design no-nos, which are like when you have like spaces, like you go through the bathroom to get to a walk-in closet, and that was like something that was on the design that I was like, no. And I was like redrawing the walls and changing, oh, there needs to be like a sliding glass door here, make these windows bigger. And I was like, this would be great for content, but I actually just need to get this done so I can move on to the next thing. So like, it's not, I feel like I have so many things that would be so great for content, but I'm just like not content creation minded, because I was also like, I should make content right now, but I really don't want to. I just want to get this done and move on to the next thing. So I might go back. Those are things that I should like probably go back and do. Like, okay, here are the drawings, and figure out how to.
Would you be opposed to one piece of feedback?
Absolutely. I mean, no, I'm not opposed to it.
Oh,
I'm saying,
like-
give me the feedback.
like what you just said, but like that's content. Like I'm so damn busy, but I'm gonna just tell you with the camera in front of my face. You don't need to show anybody the picture or the viewpoint. This is what I did in 13 seconds.
Yeah, I was
Like
gonna say
that just builds the habit.
I was
Really?
gonna say
I feel
something.
like you have to like show people what you're doing.
Maybe in 2027 or next month, but like right now it's just
Okay,
building the
gotcha.
habit.
Okay. All right. I like that. That's great feedback.
Yeah, something you can do too is just video when you're like, let's say you're looking at your layout and you're like, oh, I don't like this window, or I don't like this closet stuff, and you pick up your phone, record it, and as you're doing it, just record yourself doing it, and then you save it, and then when you have that moment, whether you're traveling or whatever, and you have that moment, you can be like, you know what, I'm going to upload this stuff, and just boom. But there's stuff with mine. I'm walking through. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool, or why did they do this? This is absolutely ridiculous. And I'll just grab my phone because it's always in my pocket. And as I'm sitting there looking at it, I'll just record what's going on and kind of deal with it. And there's been a couple of times where I've actually come up with a solution as I'm talking about it on the camera. I'm like, okay, perfect. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, you can store all those videos, and you can have like 10 videos, a month, 2 months down the road. You can be halfway done with a project and then have enough content built up, and then you start that project online.
Yeah, I just put them into a certain album. Save them.
I like
album.
Yasik's idea of just wearing a body cam. I've actually thought about that. Those Ray-Bans. I'm like, I just need the Ray-Bans, because if I'm happy to like be recording. It's not like I'm like uncomfortable in front of the camera, like sharing or whatever. It's more the actual act of recording. So I'm like, I just need a body cam, or like those glasses. Just put on some Meta glasses all day and be like, just
live stream it. Yeah.
Yeah. Brady says, I hate making content, but I really enjoy teaching and helping others, so it's worth it, I guess. Yep. So also, Lauren, I mean, I was teasing Joe a little bit yesterday on the live stream, saying he's a groupie now of the one rental at a time. I know Joe was there in the live, but you know, you're a little bit maybe newer to the community, also, Lauren, and you got to talk to Zuber, interview him. Do you kind of have a better understanding? No, like a better understanding of his background and your thoughts, and kind of maybe why he's built such a good following, I guess, in a sense?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like really from the moment you sent me the Ryan Pineda video I was like, oh, this is really like, I love his perspective, and you could see the difference between somebody who's been investing for a really long time and somebody who is a fair weather investor. And so I just really like that. And I feel like it's someone that I feel really good about. Like if somebody was like, yeah, I want to get started in real estate investing, I would send them to the one rental at a time community. Cause I'm like, the people are nice. There's a lot of help. People are happy to like help each other. And then also Zuber himself isn't like peddling courses and like weird things at the conferences and like trying to sell the next thing and like upsell and all of that. It's really just like, this is the strategy. It's pretty simple, and join the community and stay in it for over a long period of time, and you'll get wealthy and have that financial freedom. And it's like, it's something that is really easy to get behind.
Speaking of Pineda, I literally laugh out loud seeing some of his ads. It's like, hey, I used to buy rentals, but now follow this strategy and then click the link below. Or he's selling courses or coaching on bodybuilding and getting in fit. Or hey, up level your network and come golf with all these business owners. Like he's in all these different like random spaces. It's like,
Oh my God, he's all over the map.
bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, all over the map.
Kind of makes you wonder what's going on if he's almost grabbing at straws for the next thing. Is his world starting to fracture a little bit?
Well, and I know he's talked about like how he was doing all these like flip things, and then when the market turned, he lost a bunch of money on that. Like he's losing money on a lot of the real estate stuff. I think that's why he's not doing, I think, real estate. That's why he's gearing towards like coaching and all these other things. I mean, in the time I know somebody who was in one of his like early mastermind group things or whatever, like really early. And they were saying like over time, it was like he was doing NFTs. He had his like flipping coaching. Then he had his like golf with him coaching. Then he had his become like a real estate agent investor coaching. Like he had all these different coaching that he was doing. And now like they all just kind of like fall to the wayside. Like you just like kind of stop hearing about them. Like whatever happened to this NFT that everybody was buying into? Like whatever happened to so I mean, just a classic YouTube real estate investor that you would not want to send your friends or family to.
Well, you notice he doesn't do any baseball coaching.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well,
I mean, just saying.
Doesn't pay enough.
So there also was a exclusive videos that are in school, and we're talking about Zuber. Lauren got to interview him, maybe a little better understanding of who he is and why he's doing what he's doing. But someone called Zuber a fake and a liar, right? So I don't know if you guys had a chance to see those videos between Brian Davila and Dion. Would you guys have any thoughts on that? Or Chris, I know you probably known Zuber the longest out of all of us. So what's your thoughts on that take that was in those videos?
Well, I haven't watched the videos yet. I started hearing about it, and part of me just didn't want to get caught up in the drama on it. But with just what I've heard and who it came from, it's just, I don't know, it's probably just talking out his neck. And Zuber is, you can't put anybody on a pedestal, but Zuber is one of the most humble and most real teachers out there that I've come across. Yes, he's made this a business, and yes, he's making money off of it, and rightfully so. He's got information and knowledge to teach people, but to call him a fake and a liar, I think is a pretty big stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Did either of you get to watch the videos?
I started watching like the first half of it, but I couldn't get through it. It was just like too annoying. Like I was just like, what is this? Yeah.
Same.
Isn't that guy like Ryan Pinhead's right-hand man or whatever?
Yes. So Marlon RE is also here. So he's here for the Ryan P shit talk.
All right, well, let's do it.
Well, so to that point, maybe we can even go back a little bit further, because Chris also was at the first event where I was at, the ORAD event, and I believe you also attended the pre-event on Friday, right, at Pineda's venue. So maybe refresh people's mind, or your thoughts on that. I mean, I've never really heard your thoughts on that.
I mean, it was great to go to, just because here's this guy who's got all the success, all this stuff. We were all more on the infancy side of some of our investing journey, so to be included in that, it was really cool. What I noticed with Ryan is we're at his event, his business, his place, and he came out talking. He didn't know the crowd. He didn't know our position, and he was just talking over a lot of people's levels. And then once it almost seemed like once he realized we were all on the starting point and we were all small investors, he made it seem like we were beneath him. And then when he was done, he just wanted out, go away, not talk to anybody. And all of his employees came out and started rounding everybody up for his event for, you know, $3, $5, $10,000 a seat kind of deal, and hustling for your information. You know, this will make you better. So it turned into this marketing thing that was just not for us. So
Kind
I
of
just,
exactly what we're all talking about that we appreciate it doesn't happen at the ORAD events, which is where, like, I've been to events where the speakers agree to speak because they want to sell you their coaching courses or their event tickets or whatever. So it kind of sounds like that.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah.
I see Janelle tuning in. She wasn't able to attend the event in Vegas. Cody Evers says, I think it was a little blown out of proportion. Hey, Aaron Foster's here. All right. He's gonna start stirring shit up in the chat. I gotta get him back on a live stream. But like I said, if people haven't heard that are tuning in a little bit later on Wednesdays, I think we're gonna start trying to get different school members on to join us. So we got Chris joining us today. I think next week, Jeff Dombach is going to be on with us. He was also at the event in Vegas. He's in York, Pennsylvania. He's doing a lot of cool stuff out there also. So we'll get him on next week. But yeah, I definitely think that, hey, I see Ryan Ruff here. He had a great presentation, him and his wife. Day 2, I believe, in Vegas. Was it day 2? Yeah, day 2. They had a great presentation. So, but all of those will be kept on school finally. So I think a lot of people were pushing for that for a while with the school community, as everything being kind of a little exclusive, having all the videos on there. Let's see. So I guess we can't talk about the Zuber stuff very much since you guys didn't watch the videos, or Joel didn't watch it. Lauren kind of tuned off.
Well, what is your opinion on it, Mark? Did you watch it?
I think, well, so I agree with both sides. I think Brian actually does make a lot of valid points that people are entrepreneurs. You can make a lot more money that way. And sometimes that's what you have to do to buy real estate, right? You know, if you're just going to buy a cash flow real estate that makes, you know, $200 a month today or whatever, it's a little bit slower process, you know, to acquire the down payment, and you know, depending on how much you're making at your W-2. So you may have to find ways to increase your income, and that could be from flipping or wholesaling to get the money to buy your next purchase, right? So I do see valid points on his side. I just think his attitude about it and not willing to listen to the other side, and just he's very whiny, I guess would be the way I would put it. Just his kind of immature approach to, you know, every time Dion was trying to say something, he's just like, yeah. You know, he wasn't there to listen or even listen to the other side, right? And I think that was my biggest issue. And I think the biggest thing to me, and I think a lot of us, you know, when you call, you know, Zuber a fake or a liar, I think a lot of people in the community would kind of take offense to that. You know, we all kind of know Zuber pretty well, and he's like an open book to a lot of us. And I think when you say something, and you know, Zuber even gives time to Ryan and Brian, right, to be on their channels and make content, and then you come out and say something to that extent that this person is a fake and a liar, and it's, to me, yeah, I think that's a little. It's just showing who you are, showing your true colors, right? So that was kind of my take on it. I think if someone else was talking about the entrepreneur side, I definitely think like it would be like, yeah, this guy makes a valid point, right? Some people might have to do this if they want to acquire assets quicker, right?
Yeah, which I think nobody disagrees with. Even Zuber's like, yeah, I'm not saying you're going to replace your income and become financially independent in a few years of real estate investing. And that's where I think it gets into like, to me, like when I was watching it, I was like, we're getting into like semantics here, where we're on one side, somebody is saying like, you should invest in real estate. It is a good thing to do. Over the long term, you will eventually make money and it'll be a positive for your financial freedom. And then the other side, someone's saying like, real estate's dead, don't do it, because you can't really make money in it today. But yes, if you give it enough time, over time, it will make money. Like essentially they're saying the same things. It's just that they're getting caught up, I guess, or I don't know. It's just, yeah, you're right. It's really just the attitude. Cause I feel like actually the message is the same. Like everybody is in agreement that you shouldn't go into real estate thinking you're going to be financially free in 3 years. And I think that the reason why, Brian and Ryan, is that their name? Brian, that was his name, right?
To keep it simple, it's Ryan and the bald guy.
Okay,
And
Ryan
then
and the
Dion.
bald guy. The
And
bald
the
guy.
other bald guy, Dion.
He was, I think the reason why they get so caught up on it is because they were peddling this for the last, like through COVID. Like they're the ones who've been saying, you should start doing real estate. You could be financially free, quit your job, get into real estate. And so I think that that's where like the issue comes in, is like, they're the ones who are saying that. And now they're saying like, oh, that's dead, don't do that. So they're like kind of almost combating their own message. I feel like it really has nothing to do with Zuber's message.
Well, and it's like they've been saying, everybody who started during COVID and caught that wave up was successful. Like it was not hard to go buy a house, flip it in 6 months, and make a huge amount of money. And that's what those guys did. And now they can't. And what they were peddling isn't working. And now they have to find something else. So all they're doing is just, the next big thing.
Yeah. And this is something that Zuber and I talked about in the video, which is if a YouTuber is telling you something different than what they were telling you 3 years ago, then they didn't have the experience 3 years ago to be talking about what they were talking about, which means they probably still don't have the experience today to be talking about what they're talking about.
Yeah. And like the one thing that I put out yesterday was a post about somebody that I helped out a couple years ago. They use down payment assistance. So no down payment, seller cover all the closing costs. They buy a house, have a couple of roommates, and then 2 years later, they've got equity built up, values go up, appreciation, roommates. Like they just created net worth out of thin air. But like that's the perspective of somebody just starting out.
Mm-hmm.
And if your expectation is, hey, I want to go buy a $1 million apartment complex, you got to have a lot of money to be able to do that. So I mean, again, those are two different, very much extremes. I think it depends on the perspective of the audience and who you're talking to. And those guys, I mean, we've talked about it before, Mark, that those guys have big operations and probably large expenses. And so like they're just constantly on the rat race trying to get the next wave. And they didn't buy and hold, I don't think, in anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, a part of it, like you said, how much their overhead might be, even I think Adrian Hernandez, who spoke at the event, was very transparent and honest about kind of his maybe struggles in real estate the past year to some extent on how the real estate market went. But if you saw his recent talk with Zuber, I swear he was saying his overhead for his team, brokerage, his real estate kind of business operations. I could be wrong, but I swear he said like $300K a month. I don't know. I like I said, you got to go watch that video. But his overhead
for who?
Adrian Hernandez.
For Adrian.
Yeah, he has a very high overhead. For his team and everything, right? So probably his lead generation and whatnot. But Joe V, who hopefully will be able to attend the event now that it will be in January, said I watched both, wrote a comment but didn't post. Brian agreed to talk with Dion for the sole purpose of fighting and arguing. Yep. Mm-hmm. So I think what happened, from my understanding, also is a lot of people felt Zuber was ambushed or set up in that original interview on Ryan's channel. So I think as friends, Dion folks wanted to back up their boy, and Dion wanted to schedule a sit down with Brian to discuss, his take on real estate and his kind of operations. So that was that first video, and then I think Brian actually left the facility and then decided, hey, I want something for my channel, and that's where that second video came from. And then he returned, and they set up that other interview, and where it got a little religious and that type of stuff. And because he also has a religious channel, right? So I think that's also why he may have started veering it towards that take on things, which probably upset a lot of people also too. Like, how are you going to bring that into this type of discussion? Brady Morgan says real estate is not a get rich quick anymore. Maybe that's what they were arguing, and it's not supposed to be. That was an anomaly. Yep. Frank Old Guy REI said, I've never seen a more childish adult. Yeah, I think a lot of people would take that sentiment. I was thoroughly embarrassed for him. And yeah, Jason says dead on, Frank. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. So let's see. So Chris, I guess, how's your YouTube channel going now? Like, how many subscribers are you at? I mean, it's like you said, it's growing slowly, right?
Yeah, it's growing. Let me just take a look real quick, because I know I picked up a few over the weekend. So yeah, I picked up a couple. I'm at 61, 62.
Is your son is he, because they're a part of it too, right? Like they're on the videos and doing the work too, right? Do they enjoy making content with you?
My oldest one, he doesn't care. The younger one, he's like, Dad, I don't want to be on camera.
Really?
But yeah, and what's funny is the youngest one wants to do like all of his own vlogs and all this other goofy TikTok stuff, but yet when it comes time to my end, he's like, nah, ain't having it. So, but yeah, no, just, I've had videos of them, they'll be up, they've been up in the rafters doing some demo work. And, when we started doing the concrete work, they were jackhammering and whatnot, and just kind of having fun with it. So yeah, they enjoy it, but they're teens.
So Lauren, what is the next step for you now? You have this big interview out. You're on Zuber's channel. Like, when can we expect Lauren's next video too?
Well, I'm talking with Emily later today, so
nice.
That'll be out by the end of this week. And and then I messaged Monica also, so hopefully she'll be able to come on. And
what did Monica say?
She said Monica, she doesn't like to be on camera, or like, she's just like, oh, I don't know. But yeah, when are you guys going to be my next guest? We got to get you guys on the schedule. Mark never talks about himself.
I'm always ready to. Yeah, I have nothing to. My story's boring.
It's not, though. I feel like you've closed recently on a few things.
Yeah, but I don't do anything. I just do boring stuff. I'm just here to connect everyone and have fun.
But that's the whole point of this, is that we turn boring stuff into fun. That's why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go, Mark.
Also, what you think is boring, like somebody else is going, man, I just wish I could get to where Mark is at. Like someone's like, where do I start? How do I begin? Like, I'm an East Coast person, would love to know more.
Well, it's the same thing, right? Like, let me put this back on the screen, right? Just same thing with your channel. We've been telling you for 2 years, right? You just gotta hit record and put it out there. And even like purchasing a property. I get it. It is a lot of money, and it is scary at times. And I think a lot of people are just putting barriers in front of themselves, a lot of extra barriers that don't need to be in place, right? I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of people just are afraid to look stupid to some extent, or make a mistake, right? And they're always looking for that perfect deal. And of course, we're always looking for a great deal. It's just until you start, getting in the game, it's really hard to maybe see what's a great deal to some extent, right? There's a lot of nuances to it, right?
On
Yeah.
Sundays live with Zuber, we were talking about the number of people in the community that has started channels recently in the last year or two or whatever. And what did Zuber say? 40 or 60, or I forget the number of people he mentioned. Do you remember, Mark?
About
So
in the
just people
ORAC?
in the people in
Mhm.
the community that have started a channel because of the group. And he put out a number 40 or 60, I forget the number, but like at the same time, a lot of that has to do with you specifically, Mark. And
Well,
you know, you truly are an inspiration for all the boomers out there that don't think they can get into
just
social
call.
media, that they can do it.
Anyways, no, but okay, so to that point, I don't know the exact number, but both all three of you, I don't think even paid attention to it, but there was a post in school by Jeff, who'll be joining us next week Wednesday. He posted one about social media channels. For every so often in school, someone puts it out there so that hey, put everyone's things, so everyone can support and follow each other. And because I share a lot of people's channels when I'm live streaming, I pretty much have everyone's social media. So when Jeff posted that, then I pretty much tagged all you folks, and none of you said thank you. Only a few people did, but I put all your guys' channels out there
You
for
didn't
everyone.
tag me.
Well, your channel was already out there because Jeff actually put your channel one of the first on there, because I guess it was the newest. So he actually put
Oh,
your
I
channel.
didn't even see that.
Well, that's my whole point. But anyways, there was probably a good 30 channels from the school community only. And even Joseph Cachapalia, who, like I keep saying, I got to try and figure out a time to get him back on for the fractional real estate. But he's like, oh, I didn't realize how many people have YouTube channels here, right? And whether it's whatever 10,000 subscribers, like Emily's DIY channel, or smaller channels, we're all just trying to support everyone, right? I think that's the important part. But did you guys get a chance, to hear kind of Zuber's discussions about next year's event as far as things they're looking to change? Chris, I don't know if you heard it, like for the teenagers and things like that.
Didn't hear a lot. I've heard a few things where he's changing something, with VIP, which I think needs to happen. But I haven't heard all of his changes yet. No.
So yeah, everyone probably knows the event's moving to January because of Super Bowl and Valentine's Day weekend. So it'll be in January. Day one is going to be much shorter, I believe. I don't think the dinner is going to be there anymore. I believe there's going to be, I think he's tossing around the idea of like a segment for teenagers. So I don't know if it's going to be like a separate thing for his goal. I think he wants to have 50 teenagers there next year. That's his vision, and I think he has, like, of course, Cody Davis being a part of that, and I think he also wants to have Brandon Potts be a part of that. Hold on, I'm gonna let you guys take over this. My son's mom is FaceTiming me, so hold on. You guys can roll with this for now.
Okay.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, like I wanted to come back to the part where you're talking about your son soaking up all the information, and what was the on Sunday we had the young kid, Looters or Brooders, I forget, Adam, I think was his name, but talking about I think he said he was 16, but talking about the triggering of information. Hearing it from dad doesn't really matter, but hearing it from other peers or other friends or other people makes more of an impact in terms of activation. So is that something that you're seeing similar with your son, or how is that experience with you saying things versus other people saying things?
Yeah, no, it has more impact coming from somebody else, because it's just like anything. I mean, when we were growing up, parents say something, whatever. That's, in one ear and out the other. When it's coming from your friends, it could be the same thing, and all of a sudden it resonates different. And that was one of the things about being at this thing with him, where Cody and Dylan and other kids were there. They can speak the language, and it's the generation, the verbiage, all those things, the attitude, whatever, it has a different impact. And that's really, I think, where some of the I guess the strength can come from with these kids, and get through some of the hurdles. I know some of those kids were walking around kind of like, this isn't cool like I thought it was, or whatever. And that's going to be typical with any of it. But for Logan, he really was just mesmerized with talking with other people and hearing. And he even looked at me and he's like, yeah, there's a lot of the same things that I'm hearing that I've heard before. But then there were also plenty of things that he was hearing where he's, some of the stuff that Cody was telling him was 180 from what I've told him. And I'm like, well, that's investing. There's no one direct path. It's finding that one that works for you and you understand, and that resonates. So yeah, he's soaking it all in right now. And I think the smoke is finally settling, but it's still there.
You said he's 15 years old, right?
15.
So he's got 3 or 4 years before he can probably actually do something on his own.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of time to, meander off a path and get distracted or get into other things. And so, I guess my question to you is, in your opinion, what would be a good first step for him when he's ready? Is it get out of college, get into grade school, buy a property at 19 or 23? What's your thought process in this environment?
Well, right now, his idea is he wants to get into the trades. He wants to be an electrician. So he knows going into that, going through an apprenticeship, whatever education, wherever he lands, he knows there's always an opportunity somewhere. It's learning how to find it. We talked about things, and we actually talked about it while we were there. It's, he's heard the story of, the 4-3-2-1 idea. But even just starting out, in a different way of buying a small 2-bedroom house, get a roommate, save up, get to the next one, do it again, and just kind of rinse and repeat. And if that works, learning those things. So he's looking at things where getting a job, knowing, if he's local, how to save money, not live, paycheck to paycheck, being in your teens and 20s, and you get a paycheck and it's gone, a couple of days later. He knows you got to save a percentage of it to live off of, and the rest of it you can earmark it. So I think he's a little advanced compared to a lot of kids. But he's got people in his circle that have financial backgrounds. And so once those ideas start getting tossed around, he starts exploring them. He hears it a lot. So that's kind of his path right now, his line of thinking.
Cool.
And it's always something to change. I mean, didn't you want to be a belly dancer, Mark?
No, I want to be taller, but we can't do anything about that. But let's see. Trade Better says, what are your thoughts on short form content? Has it helped you grow? So I think Joel probably puts out the most content, so we can have him talk about that. What does he see working for him?
Well, the most impact, I would say, is from Facebook. And in the last 2-3 months, I put out a lot more content, and that's kind of a different story. So I'm going to leave that off the table. So I'm going to go backwards in time, where I'm posting a reel maybe every day, every other day, and some things here or there. And from a Facebook perspective, people see your content. They may not react to it. They may not interact with it at all, but they see it. And so when you get into a room of people that know who you are, and I remember this, a friend of mine, bought a bunch of apartment complexes in 2020, 2021 in Alton, Illinois. I think he's got like 180 units by now. And he had a retirement party in 2024. And just seeing a bunch of people that like you haven't seen maybe a couple of years or et cetera. And hey, I'm seeing all your content. Oh my God, like how are things going? Like that whole conversation. So people will see your content, they may not interact with it. So that's one thing. And just doing it and being consistent is so important. And then it's a tool to open up doors. Like you may not, like for me, I'm in sales, right? So I may not get a lead or a deal directly from an Instagram post or the messenger, but it's a tool to open up doors and be able to be proactive and reach out and outreach to certain people you want to outreach to. It's that you're building that resume that gives you the ability to go do other things. So for me personally, that resume builder is the most important thing that I can be doing and having that content out there consistently. So it depends on your purpose. So like for Lauren, right? I mean, and this is something that you and I talked about. Well, I know that putting out content is important, but like, what is the value? How does it relate to me? It's such a long game. Like I've got too many things to do, juggling the time of do you do it now? Like I think the purpose and the and what the goal is important as well. I'm trying to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to maybe Lauren's answer on this, I want to just add, even like Zuber, everyone looks at him being, super consistent and what he's done. And, like you said, if you go back and look, his original videos have like 20 views, 30 views, right? He's just been, he's a machine. He's super consistent on it. However, he also wishes that he started this one rental at a time actually before, when he started it, right? Because he's looking at how much bigger it would have been, but even when he could have probably shared more of his journey when he was in the middle of the journey, right? And how far this brand would have been built. But I wanna, on your topic, like you said, it's a little bit different, Joel. Your stuff on Facebook. I gotta admit, it's weird. People interact way more on Facebook. No, people interact way more on Facebook than on Instagram.
Yeah.
Really?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Like as far as commenting or whatever. Yeah. I have no idea why. I see Curtis tuning in. Curtis, Mikey too. Two people that receive belts in Vegas are in the chat. Yeah, Chris, if you got a bounce, don't worry about it. Just say it was thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
We'll get you on again. Like I said, if people are just tuning in every Wednesday, we'll probably try to get a new person on to join us. Before we get to Lauren, any final words from you then, Chris? Like I said, where else can they find you? I know I had your YouTube channel in the chat. Is that the best place for them to connect with you?
Yeah, it's the YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook. It's just my name. No fancy names. So yeah, you can just look me up there, hit me up. Ideas, suggestions, just likes and follows. And
I've been trying to push you to start the Elf on the Shelf thing that you had before going, but you never followed up on that. But
yeah, they kind of burned out. Everybody else started doing it, so
All right, man. Good seeing you again in Vegas. Hope to see you in Logan year 4. But yeah, we'll get you on again in a few weeks or something. Thanks, man.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
See you, Chris.
Bye, guys.
Like I said, Curtis got new mics. Let's see.
Can you highlight Yasik's comment?
Hold on, let me get Chris out here. Okay. Shoot. Where the hell did the chat go? Which one? Oh, this one, I think.
No, the one above that. The one
Above
above
that.
that.
Above that one. Let me see. Joe calling me old? Which one?
Oh yeah, that one.
I'm not sure. Anyways, let's move on here. What were we talking about? Hold on. He's asking about the Lauren. Oh, here. Harrison's asking, Lauren, what has been your biggest selling point to women for getting interested in real estate?
I mean, I don't know. I think the thing that women are just like more, I don't know if like afraid, but it's inherently the trades are very male dominated. And so I think the scary part is that a lot of women are not that handy. So they're like, if something comes up, how am I going to fix it? Is somebody going to take advantage of me by giving me quotes that are unrealistic and overcharging me? And so I think it's scary. It's like the same feeling that you get when you take your car to the mechanic and you're like, I have no idea. So I just have to believe whatever they're telling me. And I don't know if it's true. And so I think the best thing you can do is educate. because the more educated we are, the higher baseline knowledge that we have, the more comfortable we're going to feel. And I grew up with my whole family is I have brothers and my dad are all in construction. And so I grew up like building stuff with my dad or like just little stuff. And I'm not handy at all like Emily, like she does her own flips and stuff. I don't do that, but I'm comfortable in the trades talking to somebody about like flooring, and I'll ask for, if they ask me the square footage, I could measure it. So I think just getting more education and showing them that women are doing it. And I think when we see people doing things, we go, oh, they're doing it, I could do it. So it's just knowledge is education. It's with the same for everything, I think. Just showing more people that are doing it and helping people have the confidence that they could go for it. And then creating a community where people can ask questions like, hey, this came up. Does this seem right? That's huge.
I see Hugo tuning in from your channel. He says, good morning, winners. So hopefully Lauren is kicking up her subscriber count. There's another person
Is that 30?
Yeah, you're moving up quick. Flavio is making trouble again. I'm not sure what channel he is coming from, but he says, Lauren, are we still having Mark's birthday at your boutique hotel?
When's your birthday, Mark?
4th of July. It won't be ready this
yeah,
year.
Actually, that's great. Yeah, for sure. Come to Idaho. Let's do it. There's a parade that goes down Main Street right in front of the motel.
I bet I would go to Idaho and Lauren is going to be traveling somewhere. We're going to plan this thing and then Lauren won't even be in Idaho.
I had to book a last minute trip too.
Like I said, I was
I'm in Hawaii.
Until she actually showed up in Vegas, I was like, she's not coming.
I don't know where this reputation came from.
Hey, you even mentioned it on Zuber's thing. It's like, oh yeah, Mark's always like, where are you?
I know that is true.
Mikey Buzztune, like I said, Mikey received a belt. He was unable to attend Vegas, and I had to figure out a way to get his damn belt back to Hawaii with my belt. Stuffed it in my carry-on and freaking broke my wheel on the way home. But he says, what was the last hard conversation you had in real estate? Ooh. I don't know. Joe, Lauren, you guys got anything on the top of your mind?
Oh gosh, like yesterday.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Well, so I have two actually. One is speaking of like being a female in real estate. One is this cabinet maker who like refuses to talk to women. Like he like doesn't think that women should be in the trades, or I don't know. He just that very stereotypical kind of guy. So that where I'm just like, wow, it's 2026 and we're still doing this. And then another hard conversation I think is, well, the reason my deal fell through is because I had made an offer based off of the units being turnkey, and the seller was like, yeah, everything's updated. It's turnkey. You're not going to have to do anything. We renovated it beautifully. And then we did the inspection, and literally the house had so much rot on one side that you could push your finger through the siding. And so I'm like, this is not, this is not at all what you guys said it was. You guys are going to need to come way down. Like that asking price is ridiculous for the amount of renovations that have to come in. And I think that that's where it's hard to find a deal right now, is because we are bridging what sellers' expectations are for what they can get for their property and where the market is at and what it's willing to bear. And so we're like kind of bridging that gap between like COVID and expectations of how the market was then and how it is now. And so there's going to be a little bit of like a lag time there. And I think we're kind of in that lag time, but I think that sellers will start to realize that and become more amicable to negotiation.
Before Joel maybe answers, I would just crossed my mind real quick. I want to bring it up before I forget. So, Lauren, for like your channel for your content, I don't want to tell you this because we do it on Wednesdays, but the ladies of ORAT are also going Wednesdays at this time in school.
I know, I saw that.
That would be probably a good place for you to get people to, you know, like if you want to find people for your channel, like females in this space.
Mm-hmm.
But then you'd have to make a decision if you're gonna do
No, I
this.
know. I saw that because I was like, oh, I'm gonna look now that I'm in ORAT. I'm gonna see when the ladies of ORAT are, and then I was like, oh, it's
Yes,
Wednesday.
so they are going now. I think Jen, I don't know. Have you ever been on with Hold It with Jen? Hold It with PM Jen? I think she'd be another great one for you to get on your channel. She's
Wait, is she in school?
she's not in school, but
Oh.
she did go to Vegas. Jeff
Yeah.
is actually Jeff Dombach, who'll be on next week, is the one that actually introduced Jen to me, and then Zuber saw her, and Zuber asked her to be on his channel, and I have a good feeling she might be speaking next year, but I don't know. We'll see. But she would be a great one to have on. And if people are tuning in late to the live stream, we've kind of talked about. I think next week we will be. I mean, not next week, but we're tossing around the idea of bringing on a different school member to join us every Wednesday. So if you guys think that's a great idea, put it in the chat. And if you want to be on, message me and let me know. But like I said, next week Jeff will be on with us, joining us. And then after that, we're probably looking for other people to join us on Wednesday. But Joe, back to the question of having your last hard conversation in real estate. You know, it could be your portfolio, or it could be even someone reaching out to you for a mortgage, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just had a low appraisal for a client. It came in, you know, $65,000 low on what they thought was 400K. I mean, there's not many comparable sales out there. Where was a duplex? So what do you do? I mean, they paid for an appraisal, right? I mean, so that's just a tough situation. On the flip side, kind of going back to Lauren's conversation about, you know, the property being turnkey and then having inspection issues. I mean, I had a client go under contract for 290 something on a quadplex, and had some issues with with the inspections and roof and this and that, and they came down like $42,000 on the price, which was just massive. But that just shows there are some sellers who are very, very motivated, and they know that if they don't get this deal, it may sit for longer. So it just depends on the situation. And if you don't get the right deal, it sounds like for you, Lauren, and that conversation with Zuber, that, okay, be patient, find the right deal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just great advice.
Yeah, exactly. And we did talk a lot about, and I know there are a lot of people that aren't in commercial or aren't doing apartment buildings, but the 5-year balloons are coming up, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity there if you are ready with cash to get a good deal. So because I was like, you know, it's a bummer doing this 1031, and it hurts to pay taxes. That sucks because it's a big chunk of money. And then when we're talking about it, it's like, yeah, but if you can buy a really distressed property because you have the cash and offer them like, here's cash, you can make that difference up in the purchase of a good deal.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that if you do go buy properties, you can, you know, cost get the depreciation and maybe even offset some of that tax liability. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a lot what Lauren just brought up, and even Joe, has been a few questions that people posted in school. So I kind of want to maybe dig into one thing before we sign off or anything. But you know, so like you said, you went under contract, you found some things after, it was supposed to be turnkey, blah blah blah, you know, you're gonna back out, or unless they maybe come to you with this great you know, price reduction or something. But someone posted in school, like, have you ever gone under contract, kind of sight unseen on properties? And I think a lot of people are afraid to just get into contract because they feel like they're committed now. And I think that is one obstacle that people put in front of themselves, where they don't realize that that's just part of the process, right? You know, getting under contract doesn't commit you to anything, right? So there's always clauses where you can still back on, things. So I think that's the one thing I hope people maybe that are listening, if they're not aware, or if that's something that they're afraid of, just going under contract, just realize that there's always typically things in place that you can still back on, and just like your case, Lauren, right? Like you went under contract and then found some things, and whether you're going to negotiate or not, it didn't make sense for you anymore, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're interested in a property, I would say get it under contract. Like, even if you're just like, I don't know how I'm going to finance, I don't know, you have like a million questions about it still, I am like, get it under contract. That is like my rule number one. If you're interested in property, get it under contract.
And I think that also goes to kind of Zuber's buy box, or Dion talk. It's kind of just knowing in general what you're looking for. So if this particular item or property comes listing and it hits a lot of your checkpoints, right? As far as area, maybe zip code, parking, room count, bathroom count, flats, whatever. But as long as it meets a lot of these things, criteria, then just like you're saying, get it under contract, and then let's do a little bigger research, or dive deeper, get an inspection, and then see what's going on here. And typically there's always ways to get out of it, right?
I kind of want to hit on something that you guys talked about before, like, on Lauren's channel, like why should women get into real estate? And we can go into all the nuts and the bolts of like strategy and like wealth building, but like at the same time, there's also some underlying benefits too, right? I mean, the men to women ratio in real estate and events, and Lauren and I talked about this on live before, that it's a great dating tool. I mean, getting in a room with a bunch of single guys, I mean, you got options.
Yeah.
Here we go, Joe. And so like Joe wasn't there yet in Vegas, and that was the funny thing we talked about. We all went to the beer park in Vegas, and the funny thing was that they were having a speed dating night at the.
And Joel missed it.
Lauren missed it also too. Well, you just arrived, so you.
But you brought your boyfriend. He wouldn't let you do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have participated in the speed dating.
Well, yes,
you just sort of watched.
Yeah,
like a fly on the wall.
He wasn't there yet, though.
We'll just
not that matters. I
know.
So
it ain't that serious, is what you're saying.
I would not. I was gonna leave that off the table.
It ain't that serious.
That is not what I'm saying.
Now you said that's what you meant.
No, that is not what I meant.
Look at you. Joe is the one making trouble. I will leave it at that.
No, I would.
Mark, you're lucky that I keep it at a minimum on this channel, because I am a troublemaker.
You are.
I would love to be the hostess of the speed dating. I feel like I would be able to
organizer.
Yeah, I would organize it. I could really, while we're there, I'm on the mic, keeping things interesting. All right, move it along, buddy. She's not into it,
buddy. Just not that into you.
All right. Harrison says, yes, definitely a fan of School Member Wednesday. Yeah, so we'll get that going. So like I said, Jeff Dombach from York, Pennsylvania will be joining us next week. And we'll see who else we can get on. Harrison, we'll try to get you on. Yasik, I'm sure Yasik will come on. Curtis. Yeah, we'll try to get someone new on every weekend. We can talk a little bit about what they're working on, and just like Joe V, big news. I don't know. We'll leave it at that. He might be having a new career opportunity, so Joe V can maybe touch on that shortly. But let's see. Let me think if there's anything. Hey, Brett is here. Brett, it is anything you want. So Brett, we'll get Brett on, but he's kind of camera shy. I believe he's a firefighter. I don't know. He says he is, but he's never doing anything. So I don't know. He's in Milwaukee, I believe, or somewhere in that area. They didn't miss the container park had the pole dancing. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
You didn't see that? Oh yeah. No, wait.
That was Saturday night.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no one from our group participated. Yeah, Hyder. We got to get Hyder on here one day also. But yeah, I don't know. Anything else you guys want to wrap things up with? Like I said, so Lauren, are you editing or just no edits like Zuber? So you're interviewing Emily, I believe, today, you said, right?
Yeah, probably won't edit.
Did you make that thumbnail yourself? The one on your video with Zuber?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Wait, you made
Yeah.
a thumbnail?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn. Hey, Lauren, would you say that you're a good multitasker?
Depends on what the multitasks are. If it's making content and doing something else, no. If it's talking on the phone and doing something, yes.
Okay. Because I mean, I feel like,
Maybe,
you know,
and-
men are typically not as good as women at multitasking. And
Yeah.
like real estate, there's so much shit going on. You got to be a good multitasker to be able to handle life plus real estate. So like that's a advantage that women could potentially have over men on
Mhm.
real estate investing. On the flip side, like house hacking, I think is probably less optimal for women dealing with roommates, or if it's a multifamily living in one unit and having like random strangers renting the other unit. So that's a disadvantage for women, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
what
feel
advice
like-
would you have to a woman if they wanted to get into the first deal, like right now? What would you do?
I still think house hacking could be a good option. I mean, you can also do like a females only. Like you could have one unit rented to a single mom and her daughter. You could rent to, if you're younger, like your friends or college
Yeah.
students, or I think there are ways. But I think house hacking is a great first property.
But not in Idaho.
I mean, yeah, it's hard because the market here is pretty, like, this is a very high cost market. I mean, your like condos are like $1 million. Mm-hmm.
Well, so that's the thing we always want to remind people, right? House hacking doesn't necessarily mean you need to make money from it, right? If it can reduce your cost of living, then that's going to be very helpful. Lauren was not able I think she took off on Sunday. She wasn't able to see a lot of the presentation on Sunday, and that's when Pace did speak, and Chris, who's in the chat, is mentioned. So that was kind of what he mentioned in his presentation. Pace said the same thing, women advantage, and I believe that's what he kind of said about some of his on his team, right? Joe, do you remember that part?
Well, I don't know specifically what Chris is talking about, but I know Pace was talking about building his team. He specifically focuses on women to build his team because the concept of like men want to, if they're, you know, part of a team, then they want to go build their own thing and conquer the world kind of mentality, versus women just want to be, you know, a part of the process. They don't want to take the whole thing over there. They want to just make the thing that's there way better than it already is. And that's, you know, a preference for him. But
Which I also find to be kind of sexist.
Not if it's true. I mean, if it's
I don't know that that's true.
That is the first time I think I've ever seen Lauren somewhat triggered a little bit.
Like, yeah, I'm nobody's employee for a reason. And I know a lot of women who have their own businesses. Like, and I would agree with the idea that I would probably gravitate to hiring women in a lot of ways because
because of that reason. I got it.
Not because of that reason, though. No, because I do agree that they are good at multitasking and like also like not even single moms, just moms, women who are ambitious and who want to work and want to have a career. I do think that they are great and capable, and they can be great employees. But I don't necessarily think it's because they don't have higher aspirations of having ownership or conquering, you know, whatever it is. Like, I think that women also want to have ownership, and they don't necessarily just always want to be an employee. They want to be able to dictate their own life as well. And there may be men that are happy to be employees as well. Like, I do know men that are like, yeah, I don't want to be the boss. I would be happy to like just go to work and collect my paycheck and come home. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit sexist.
Are you taking applications for Sugar Mama?
That role's already filled. Obviously, I have a boyfriend.
I mean, I don't see a ring on it.
That's true.
Joe is just stirring stuff up
That's
today.
true.
Well,
No, well, yeah.
okay, no, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say, like, I think it just comes down to the law of averages, right? There's always, the opposite side of the coin, but like it's just a law of averages kind of a thing.
Well, I do just want to add, like you're saying, law of averages, whatever. But I do want to kind of maybe take it back to a little bit of the year two event where Zuber's wife Olivia spoke, and her big thing though for women is that to kind of Lauren's, but it's not, and to Joe's point, it's not that females or women conquering the world type of thing, but be involved in it enough to know what's going on so that you're not reliant on the man or the male. So I think that was Olivia's message in year two, was kind of be a part of the process, understand where the mortgages are, or how are we paying these bills, or where's our properties, or what is our LLC. So if something ever happens, or you're not like lost on and you have to sell everything, or even if you were to get separated, at least create something for yourself. And that's what's amazing with like even Cody Davis and his wife Ashley, right? So she has her own portfolio, and she was doing this before her and Cody got together, but she kind of has her own thing going on in real estate. So if anything ever did happen, or if things went sideways and they separated, she has her own kind of security there, right? And I think that was Olivia's big message in year two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, to Jason wrote about Joel saying that women are better multitaskers. My first thought actually to that was like, I don't know, are women better multitaskers? Like, I think out of necessity, like women oftentimes in the mothering role, more falls onto them. Like they manage the household and they have their career outside. And so I think that's why they get labeled as better multitaskers. But I also would say that I've seen men multitask incredibly well when they want to. Like seeing fantasy football, seeing the way that they are looking at the players and the averages and all the information they know and how they're doing it. And then they're also like watching the game, they're on their phone. I'm like, the multitasking is incredible. Like when anybody wants to, they can. I think every skill is born out of necessity or desire for something. So yeah, I think men can be good.
I think there's a lot of truth in that. Necessity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Should I show Jason's comment on the screen real quick before we?
Sure.
He just said, "I love that Joel's comment is sexist, but saying they are better multitaskers than men is just fine." He does agree. The most are better multitaskers,
which I think is like, in a way, I'm like, are they, or is that like another weaponized incompetence?
Oh, see, Lauren, who's sexist now, Lauren? Nah.
Weaponized incompetence.
I'm still saying men can be incredible multitaskers when they want to be.
All right, like I said, this is always fun on Wednesday. Lauren, we'll be looking for your new video coming out with Emily soon. Like I said, if you haven't checked out Lauren's channel, go check it out, subscribe, and also check out her interview on Zuber's channel. That's another good one.
Hey, Mark.
Yes.
Did you see the post that I forwarded to you through Instagram Messenger like a little bit ago? This has to do with like,
man, I'm like focused right now. I'm multitasking as we go. Or I got people text messaging me about shit going on, and then I got freaking Instagram. I got Instagram. Yeah, I gotta go pick up my son's backpack and he forgot it. So I gotta go pick it up and drop it off at school because the mom has to get to work. So I gotta go do that.
This guy is bald, overweight, probably like 50 years old. I'm not pointing this to you, Mark, I promise. But he has this this Instagram channel. It's built up to like 12,000 followers, like getting millions of views. And it's just him like working out, and like his shirt's too tight. And then like it fast tracks to the end result with him like buff, ripped, nice beard, and then hair now, like AI. All like slicked back. It is AI. There's no transformation, and he's crushing it. all because he's putting on this persona and then I guess selling some kind of affiliate product.
Well, it's not a real person. It's somebody.
No. It's him. It's him. And then the very end of it, when it shows the transformation into like the ripped guy,
that's the AI part. Gotcha.
And he's crushing.
Well, what a strategy. We should all do that. I'm going to start
I'll
making AI
make
real
another
estate
channel.
projects.
I make AI videos just for my personal fun at the event, though.
Which
Oh, I don't know if Lauren saw them. She might have been gone when at the event. I don't think she
Yeah, I
saw
didn't
my
see
AI
it.
videos.
yeah, that was Sunday.
Yeah. All right. Well, like I said, Wednesday is always fun. Glad we got to talk about Lauren's channel. Finally got it up and running. Like I said, Joel's doing a lot of cool stuff, social media side, Facebook. Check him out. A lot of traction there. And like I said, every Wednesday we'll be back. Try to get another school member on joining us. Hopefully Lauren doesn't ditch us for the ladies of ORAT though.
No, I won't.
But yeah, Jeff will be here next week from York, Pennsylvania. It was a lot of fun meeting him in person in Vegas. See, and I got to deal with this shit.
And disconnect.
All right. Well, so any final words from you guys? No. See you guys next week. Anyone, if you want to be on,
Will you type if I'm canceled? Let me know.
You're not canceled.
You're
but if anyone if anyone wants to be on in future Wednesdays, message me, let me know. That way I don't have to go
just
search
be aware you'll probably get canceled.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and I will be back on Friday with Emily Lopez at 7:45 a.m.
If you want to
also, everyone, remember, Wednesday nights is the OG of the accountability groups. Frank's accountability call is Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Pacific. That is probably the biggest turnout in the school community for people on the call. And I think that was another thing Zuber wants to kind of focus on for next year's event. Trying to get some of these accountability groups and maybe the leads of each group on stage. They can kind of talk about what their group is about, what they maybe focus on, but just give these people a little time on stage so that people people can kind of know what the school community is about a little bit more. I think since the event or around the event, it's been about 100 members, I think, has gone up in the school community. I'm sure a lot of people want to see all the videos and content, so we'll see if they stick around. But yeah. And like I said, I thank you guys. Like I said, take this streams and you can cut it up yourselves and put it out for your own content. But
yeah, I'm gonna make a video of Joel.
So what should also be easy, because there's a portrait version of it. It should be much easier to just clip it and post it. You don't have to really edit anything because it should already be set for like a mobile. Yeah. So. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
How do you get to that portrait version in the?
There should be
YouTube?
two. Yeah, there should be two that are on my page after.
Okay, you're right. I got you.
Yeah, so it should have a landscape one and it should have a portrait one, and you can just upload that into whatever clip editing thing you use.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you folks next Wednesday.
Okay.
Bye.